It might be time to get some closure for the demise of One Direction sweetheart Liam Payne. Because as the Diddy trial goes on, a connection has been established between the drugs found in Liam's autopsy report to the recreational Tusi, aka pink candy, which Diddy used in his famous freak-offs. Let's get into it. Liam passed away in October last year after he fell off the balcony of the Casa Sur Palermo Hotel in Buenos Aires, where he was vacationing with his girlfriend Kate Cassidy. Now, even though Liam had been quite open about his mental health challenges and occasionally substance uses, he seemed to be doing okay and having an amazing time with Kate, who unfortunately had to fly back home 2 days before his tragic death.
Morning, everybody. Here's a little video of me. It's rude to put hats on the table.
Sorry.
Is this your hat?
Yeah.
Children. It's a lovely day here in Argentina. This is the breakfast table.
I'm just eating an orange.
Just enjoying coffee and breakfast, even though it's like 1 p.m.
Literally, we sleep in every day until at least 12. We're such losers.
No.
No.
When police arrived at the scene, they found Liam's hotel room, which was on the 3rd floor, littered with narcotics and alcohol. The room was scattered with burnt foil, broken bottles, a smashed TV, and a powder-like substance that could not be identified. Authorities confirmed their suspicions of drug use because of the burnt foil. However, they could not identify what substance it was used for.
Photos shared with ABC News by UK news outlet ITN appear to show drug paraphernalia and a smashed TV inside Payne's hotel room. Plus, in a 911 call, a hotel manager calls for help, saying there's a guest who's drunk on drugs and alcohol, breaking everything in the room. And he says he's fearing for the guest's life because of the balcony.
Hours before Liam fell, the hotel staff called the police twice to report an aggressive guest. The first call was placed around 5 p.m. by a hotel staff. He mentioned that one of their guests was suspected to be under the influence of alcohol. The caller identified himself as the chief receptionist of the hotel and explained that the guest was acting erratically and trashing the room. In a second call, the same hotel staff member told the dispatcher that the guest was high on drugs and that he was a danger to himself, especially because he was standing very close to the balcony.
911, ¿dónde es emergencia?
Hola.
911, ¿dónde es emergencia?
Hola, buenas tardes. Mira, te estoy llamando del Hotel Casa Sur Palermo, que queda en Costa Rica 6032.
6032 es Capital entre Arevalo y Kramer.
Sí, correcto. Entre Arevalo y Dorrego, creo que es. Bueno, nada, tenemos un huésped que está sobrepasado de droga y está rompiendo toda la habitación. Así que necesitamos que venga alguien.
Entiendo, me dice entonces que es agresivo. Señor, ¿me repite el nombre del hotel, por favor? Señor.
Before the dispatcher arrived at the scene, Liam had already fallen to his death. In light of the Diddy trials, the recreational drug pink candy, which goes by another name, Tusi, has come to the knowledge of the general public, and people are connecting the dots, particularly how the way Liam was acting before he died. It is really similar to the side effects of Tusi. According to reports, these effects can range from mild to severe, and they include strange thoughts or confusion, seeing or hearing things that aren't there, and a lot of agitation. When Diddy was arrested in New York, this same alleged designer substance was found in his possession. Tusi was also mentioned in Lil Rod's lawsuit against Diddy on the grounds of harassment. Rod's complaint detailed how Diddy used Tusi on him and forced him to partake in several illicit acts. Lil Rod also alleged that all employees of the Diddy enterprise, from the butlers to the chefs down to every housekeeper, was required to walk around with a pouch of a fanny pack filled with Tusi alongside other narcotics. Rod also attested that Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Carisha, who was on a payroll as one of the freak-off girls, aided in transporting Tusi for Diddy across state lines. In an amended lawsuit, Rod described a particular event where he personally witnessed Diddy do a few lines of Tusi in his dressing room and requested for more. Unfortunately, his friend, a popular drug mule, Brandon Paul, forgot to bring extra bags. So Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Coram, called Carisha to bring some on her private jet flight from Miami. A waiter who was suspected of delivering substance to Liam at his hotel was apprehended soon after news of his death made headlines. This man, in question, however, denied the accusations of delivering any illegal substance to Liam. According to him, Liam already had it on him and even offered some to him, a request to which he denied.
La realidad es que no le suministré drogas. Con Liam nos conocimos, él me contactó en lo que es mi trabajo. Ahí nos pasamos lo que es el contacto, y nos vimos, sí, ahí nos juntamos, él me mostró un poco de su música, de la música que iba a sacar adelante.
Liam's connection with Pink Candy has a lot of people wondering how exactly he got his hands on the substance in the first place. And this is making a clip from Liam's interview on The Graham Norton Show to resurface. In the episode, Liam mentions a chilling encounter he had with Diddy. He said that a particular event he was stuck between approaching Diddy, Jay-Z, or Leonardo DiCaprio. He thought that Diddy would be the safer bet of the three icons, but apparently he was wrong. He then mentioned being scared of Diddy, and y'all, that right there has got fans talking.
I had that with P. Diddy. I went over to say hello to P. Diddy, and Jay-Z was there, and Leonardo DiCaprio was sat at the
All
far
right,
side.
I think you've dropped enough names. I think people thought Prince and Brian Ferry was good. We don't need to hear about other people who are in the room. Let's just stick on the people the story's about.
So I went over and I was trying to think who's the easy target in this scenario, who's the one that you go to say the hello, and I'm thinking, I saw him and get him to the Greek, I'm going to go over there and say hello to him, so I thought, P. Diddy. So I went out to shake his hand, and I shook his hand, and I was, oh, nice to meet you, and he's going, but the longest handshake ever. And I'm like sat there just looking in P. Diddy's eyes like, when is this going to end? And then the worst of it happened. There was a whole thing with Jay-Z, and I went to lean in to speak to him. But you can't lean in to speak to Jay-Z. You're not allowed to lean in. And his bodyguard just like shoved me like this, and I went flying across the room. And I was like, right, I'm just going to go and sit over here with Eddie Golden. Thank you, that's enough. Very awkward moment.
Speculations are that Liam was targeted to be manipulated as one of Diddy's boy toys. Some sources also say that he was on the verge of spilling it all and needed to be silenced. Now, I don't know how much of it is true. I'm just reporting on what is being said, so you take everything on your own discretion. Liam's ex-fiancée, Maya Henry, shared some light on these allegations. She mentioned that following their breakup months before Liam's demise, he asked her for help repeatedly. She said Liam would call her and say things like his life was being threatened and that he was going to die. But she never took him seriously because she had a book about her relationship on the way, and she thought Liam's cries for help was a way to stall her book release.
Because he would always message me ever since we broke up, like, oh, I'm not well. He would always play with death and be like, well, I'm gonna die. I'm not doing well. I know the lifestyle he lives, and there is a day where something bad is going to happen. So I would always be like, okay, he's saying these things. I have to help him, because if I don't, I will never be able to live with myself if something does happen to him. He would text my mom, I'm not doing well, have Maya contact me, because I wouldn't respond. And it's just always the same cycle. Like, for example, when I announced my book, he did the same thing. He called my mom, I think I'm not gonna be around much longer. And I don't play with death. So I'm like, if you say this, I'm gonna try and help you no matter what you've done. And I think he took advantage of my family's kindness. And I was like, if you want to go back to rehab, I'll help you.
The revelations continue from there, including warnings from a friend that Liam might die by suicide or under mysterious circumstances.
My book was coming out. Even one of his friends was calling me and my mom being like, oh, you know, this isn't a good time for him. I don't think you should put the book out. You know, he's not doing well. And if something happens to him, not only are you going to blame yourself, but the whole world's going to blame you. And so I was like, just the fact that they just keep trying, I'm like, it is like you said, such a low manipulation tactic.
Ciao. There is still so much to uncover about Liam's tragic and untimely passing, and a lot of people have their opinions about it. Like this person that said, I knew his death had something to do with Diddy because the way he passed out of nowhere and had it happen was so weird. It was after the interview and after Diddy finally got caught. Another person added, if Liam was willing to say publicly that he is fearful of Diddy, what would he have told investigators privately who are building evidence against Diddy like right now? He had to be silenced. Ciao. It's really wild out with these claims, and only time can tell what exactly is the truth. But for now, we want to know what your thoughts are on this subject. Leave your opinion and conclusions down in the comments, and while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content like this. Also, check out the next video for the latest on celebrity news.